Okay, where are we going?
Manchester United.
Perfect.
Well,
Yeah.
but why?
But why what?
It's Fulham.
Yeah, without Palinya.
Without Willian.
It's Fulham.
Okay. That you'd put it among the worst performances that Manchester United have had in this worst year that they have. And I don't think that they even attempted to go close to Fulham, because Fulham, they dominated the game. In the first half, there's someone who talked about them. They could have been 3-0 up.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And for Manchester United's midfield, I know we had thought that they had improved, but yesterday they were just so open. And they were being run through by Sasa Lukic, who I hadn't known about because Palinya was missing. And they smothered us. And I felt like with that first goal that they scored, they deserved it. And then United, the only minutes that they looked like a unit were those minutes after they had conceded. And they got the goal. But then also you'd feel like this is injustice because United haven't looked as close. Guys walking on the pitch, Rashford not even close. Yes, you'd make a point that maybe if you have Luke Shaw, you have Højlund, it looks a different proposition. But what we saw from the three guys from the academy, and that's Højlund, and that's Marcus Rashford, and Fosun, who was brought into the game and didn't look any part of Manchester United. They just looked over the place. And so I felt like with the last goal that they scored with Iwobi, it was just deserved for them. The counter-attack and the way they scored, it was a deserved loss for Manchester United. They just didn't deserve to win that game.
I feel bad for Mino. I think if he came onto a team that was playing good football, getting in the results week in, week out, it would have been better for him. He would be better as a player when all this comes to an end. But Rashford, Fernandes, Casemiro, who else? Lindelof.
Yeah.
Wow.
Be fair on Lindelof. Lindelof is being told to play.
Yeah, he's playing a lot.
Yes,
and he's not even adept. You know, if he was left-footed like Kiwior but playing left back, you would maybe understand. He's a predominantly right-footed player being told to go up and down the wing. Hiyo anangangana tu kiume. Unajua ile kungangana tu kiume. Ile ya tu mtu asimame tu hapa akimbie tu.
Tutie tu bidii hapo katikati.
Tushikilie.
Yes, but just the reactions from Fernandes and Rashford especially. It's just so bad. Fernandes is supposed to be the captain of the team, the captain of Manchester United. But from the reactions he's giving the fans, the stadium is a 70-seat stadium, yeah?
75,000, something, 79,000.
Just the reaction after losing the ball, him holding his waist and looking down at on the ground, it's not giving the United kind of vibe he should be giving on the pitch.
Guys, United struggle when they meet a well-coached team. That's just the truth of the matter. Anytime United meet a team that has a coach who is able to be clever, United struggle. United like to play, this is a bad word to use, they like to play almost rudimentary, straightforward teams. You know?
Yes.
Aston Villa, Luton. You know, like hakuna kufikiria mingi, hakuna lakini sijui who's sliding.
Okay, yes, there was no structure in that performance. And even the thing that I disagree with you, just like we are rubbing it off, we are not, because even in the previous game that you're talking about, Luton, United had no balance. Ni kungangana.
Ujui ile game ya it's more mano imano. You attack, like there is not, you don't have to think too much. See the Luton, you don't have to really think too much. They are very basic. They are very straightforward. Luton, Everton, very straightforward. 4-4-2, 4-3-3, we hoof the ball into the box. You know, like it's simple and straightforward.
Yeah.
Those are the games. United are okay with those ones. Or like Aston Villa, where, you know, they press you up, they leave room. So you beating them is simple. Put the ball behind them, get your runners to run on the ball. You are okay. When United meet a team that does something tactically, because they don't have the structure you are saying to counter it. So when they are forced to think,
it becomes difficult. But yesterday was even worse because you didn't have that effort coming in from the United players.
Then at the end, what Erik ten Hag said, we are looking at the bigger picture. What are you saying?
Okay, that's a man who wants to gain the trust of the the new group that has come in at United.
How?
So he's trying to find ways.
You have to find something to tell the media. Okay? In Kenya, Sammy will tell you, it's always what? loss of concentration.
The last minute.
Last minute we lost concentration and we are going back to the drawing board.
Yes.
And narefa alituonea.
Yeah.
It's the standard. It's standard. It happens all the time. So that's part of it.
Yeah.
It's part of it. So you give people this ambiguous answer that you can't quite explain it. You
Yes.
know, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, you then you leave people trying to, you see the way you're asking, but what did he mean? Yeah, that's exactly what it's supposed
Yeah,
to.
he was just playing to the gallery.
That's exactly what it's supposed to leave you thinking like that. What
Yeah.
did he mean? No. Yeah, we've moved on. Because you have to say something.
Yeah. But then now I wanted to ask this because, as I said, in those wins that Manchester United had, it's not as if they were straightforward wins and wins that we dominated the opponent. Even when we won against West Ham 3-0, it wasn't the kind of performance that you're saying, oh, we dominated this game because West Ham had opportunities. Same case for the Villa game, and same case for the Luton games last week. And now it has culminated in this loss. Looking at Ten Hag and the system that he's played, it's a question to you. Do you think that Radcliffe will stick with him?
No.
Why?
Because United have no clear pattern 2 years into his season. And your favorite coach, Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah.
We saw it after 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know how City play.
Yes.
We know how Spurs play.
Yeah.
We know how Unai Emery's Aston Villa play. We know how Fulham plays. We know how Luton plays. Like, you can explain. Like,
Yeah.
how do they play? They play this way, this way, this way. You know how all those teams play.
Yeah.
The one, even Burnley, you know how we play.
Okay.
United, almost 2 years since he took over the job,
Yeah.
since he interviewed,
Okay.
no clue. What do United do? Do they press? Do they pass from the back? Do they go direct? What do they do?
Okay.
What's their plan? What is it? How come he can't
Okay.
imprint a way the team plays?
Yeah. Okay. So in the first season, this is a guy who's coming in from Ajax and he's used to this kind of possessive football, and then you find a completely different personnel in a locker room that isn't stable,
Sammy,
and it ends in a top 4 finish in a Carabao Cup.
Sammy, and for United,
Yes.
that I told you, you kept saying this. I told you, that's about the bare minimum. We had this argument with you for a long time.
Yes.
You kept saying, oh, but he won Carabao Cup and he was top 4. I said, listen, that's bare minimum at Man United.
Yeah.
United, that is basic. Like, it should happen.
Okay.
And given the numbers I gave you last week of how much their squad is worth, given that he was allowed to sign whomever he wanted, other than Frank de Jong, because he signed every other person he wanted.
Yeah.
He has no excuse to him getting top 4 and Carabao Cup is bare minimum. Now,
Yeah, that's the first season.
you think you say he went to an unstable dressing room, What kind of dressing room did Postecoglou walk into?
I wouldn't.
Random. No, they lost their best player. They
Yeah.
lost their goalkeeper.
Yes.
They didn't replace them. What were his signings?
Yeah, they work in a Visario.
But within how long? Within how long? By the first game of the season, we
Yes.
already saw this is how this team plays.
Yeah.
Today, if I ask you what is Spurs structure, you know.
Yeah.
Today, I dare you. 20 months since he took over, or whatever months, almost 2 years. What is United structure? How do United play? You don't know.
Okay. This was a damaged culture. at
Regardless,
Manchester United.
Sammy,
These were prima donnas at United.
it does not matter. A coach worth his salt within weeks with the supposed that quality of players, that caliber of players, you should be able to see what you are working on. There should be signs. It should not be even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. People knew how United played, and you would say this is a better coach than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But everyone knew how United played under Solskjaer. They played on the counter. They were compact. They hit you on the counter. That's why they were so good away from home.
Okay.
What does Ten Hag play?
Okay.
What does he do?
Okay, this second season, okay, because you've already brushed on the first one, which I felt was a good start.
It was
good
bare
start?
minimum. For a team that is worth 1.42 billion.
Yeah, and based
it's bare minimum.
Yes,
To be in
yes,
top 4.
yes.
You should not even have a conversation about anything else. Top 4 should not be a conversation.
Based on where we are coming from.
I keep
Based on
telling
where you are coming from on
Sammy,
that season, when you look at it and you're finishing in the top 4.
Sammy, 1 billion. Your squad, that squad you're talking about last season, was worth 1.4 billion. 1.4 billion. There is no excuse. And then on top of that, they sat down, they told him, what do you want? He said, I want Anthony, get. I want
Which was
this
the wrong
one,
move,
get.
yeah.
I want this one, get. Thank you. Then this season, they told him, and what else do you want? Get. What else do you want? Get.
And I don't think that that's a plus on the manager, right? It's
No,
not,
no,
it's,
no,
it's
no,
not
no,
something
no,
that
no,
he
no.
would want, right?
No,
Yeah.
Sammy, bottom line is, Sammy, what do you want to come to the show? I want my seat this way and I want my water. Here is your water, there is your seat. You've come on the show. You can't then turn around and say, but you say this is not really good to give Sammy what he wants. Because in an ideal world, Sammy wants another person to give him what he wants.
No, but it's different.
Sammy.
It's different. This is a guy who's operating over 1,000 million parts, moving parts in the system.
Nope.
He's got to need advice from
There
someone.
is no excuse.
Okay, now the second season, this has been a horrendous season, even off the pitch.
We have just... No,
Off the pitch has been...
Sammy.
And the injuries that we've had this season.
Sammy, we have just spoken about Liverpool and the fact that Liverpool have had to deal with injuries from day one. We are speaking about injuries. City stayed without their best player for 6 months.
Yeah.
Or not 6 months, maybe half the season. 6 months is pushing it. Half the season. They didn't have their best player. They stayed without their top striker for 2 months. And they are going. Liverpool have missed players. They've not had how many times have Liverpool actually been able to put their starting 11 like they should? Liverpool a player keeps dropping every day, but they are able to find a way.
Yeah.
Spurs, even when they lost this period where they lost Maddison, Van der Veen, Richarlison, even that position, the results weren't great. But could you see a structure? Could you see how the team plays? Could you say for a fact the ball moves from this is how they build up? Could you see it?
Yeah, you could.
Thank you. Can you see it with Ten Hag after 20 months?
Okay.
No. Yes or no?
Okay,
Without
no.
Yes, can you see it?
No, it's no. It's no.
Thank
But-
you. So
but-
what
but
does he
then-
need to see it? He needs another 2 years.
Not another 2 years, but a situation to be ideal.
He has to go away.
To be ideal enough.
United will fire him. He has to be fired. United have to fire him. As much as they are putting Dinasho and whoever else at the top, they need a coach who can, at the very least... I told you, United can do no wrong. By the way, if you ask me, United... I go to my favorite coach of the year. My coach of the year currently is a man called Gary O'Neill. He's a brilliant human being. He has
atmosphere.
done... No! He
It's a
was
different
given
job.
a team that Lopetegui left because he said, this team where they've sold all the best players, I don't think this team can do anything. He said, give me. I need a job. Give me. Shall we check where they are in the table? I really like doing this. I do this
just
every
don't see it as
no,
a
no,
good
no, no, no,
fit.
no, no, hold on. No. We are just talking about a coach who puts an imprint on a team and you can see it.
Yeah.
He took this team. They are currently 11th on 35 points. Okay? He took a team that he didn't even do preseason with.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Last season, he took a team that was struggling. They gave it to him, Mchezo. My friend, he stabilized the team until they survived relegation. Then they told him, go away. He said, Sawa. He got into another team. You can see his imprint. That's my point. What's your imprint on the team as a coach?
Okay.
What's the imprint?
Yeah,
There
I
is
get-
none. Ten Hag has walked around with a Carabao Cup and the future. He talks about the big picture is fantastic.
Okay, I get it on the imprint. On the imprint, yes, you're winning there. You're
So if
winning
he has
there.
no imprint, why should
but
he
then you
stay?
have this kind of mitigating circumstances
No.
that are telling you that if this guy has a unit that can work in the system, then you're going to see it.
No.
But if you're going to have
He
10
said
different
Anthony.
combinations of centre
He said Anthony.
back,
He signed
he
Anthony.
did, and he had a case that affected
signed
him
Anthony.
and affected the team.
He signed even last season.
Yeah.
Did he have the case last season? Or what did he do last season? That Anthony.
Okay,
last
he
season.
didn't.
Sammy, you have got to stop giving excuses. I keep telling you this. If you are a 90 million pound player, you can't make excuses. People expect something from you. I'll give you the example all of you gave here when Jadon Sancho first left United and went to Dortmund, and the first game you came here with stats of how good he was, and the second game, since then you've not said anything about him. I
Yeah.
wonder why.
He's been on the bench several
I
times
wonder-
because he
no.
wanted to ramp up.
Please,
Yes, that's a
please,
fact.
please get me the stats of the. In fact, someone tweeted them on Tuesday or Wednesday in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I think it was Zachary Oguda. He tweeted and he said, "I wonder why there is no more noise because the numbers were put there, and the coach was quoted saying he needs to do more."
Yeah, and understandably so.
No, so exactly the same problem at United
not
is
played
the same problem they are seeing at Dortmund. After the first day when all of you guys said all he needed was 10 minutes to give us an assist. You remember?
Yeah.
And then my point is this, Sammy, you can give excuses to a 20 million pound player, 15 million pound player, 30 million
No,
pound
you see
player.
now where we are headed to.
But when you are the one who said I want A and you are given A, I want B, you are given B.
You take the bigger blame?
Yes, because it's your team. You made it. And for me, it's not even the signings I'm worried about. Let me tell you what's my main point. What is United's style of play? What's their structure like? What's their system? You can't answer it because they don't have one. They have none. Do they play from the back? Do they press up? Do they play low block? Whatever it is, whatever explanation, you have none. 20 months in. But with Postecoglou, you can see it. With Gary O'Neill, you can see it. With who else? With De Zerbi, you saw it instantly. With Burnley, you can see it. With Fulham, you can see it. With Iraola, you can see it. You cannot see it with this coach after 20 months and him with a squad worth 1.4B. You cannot see it. There is no way running away from that. If he was doing what Klopp did in his first 2 seasons, where he'd have really great games and really poor games, and then really great games and then really poor games, and then you could tell there is something he's trying. At times it works, at times it doesn't. You would see it. This season, I dare you, pick for me United's best game this season. Then tell me what worked for that game. Pick one.
It was the Villa game.
Pick one.
Man United against Villa.
Which is the game I told you is for what?
The Highline.
Rudimentary. Piga ball huko to chase. Huko kwa space huko. Garnacho a chase. Rashford a chase. You cross in the box.
Okay.
We finish.
Okay. I get you.
This is where we finish this United conversation.
Yes. Okay, the other thing I wanted to mention was this. Based on who's available right now, because you'd guess that Ratcliffe wants to get a guy that is going to come in and finish his process if it's taking 3 years. Mm-hmm. But doesn't it look like a good decision to give this man who's been in this situation and clearly understands the culture that exists at Manchester United one good window with guys who know what to do and the guys to bring into the squad? And let's see whether he can deliver the championship in 3 years.
Sammy, you see the way you find for us Iraola and you told us how great he is. Please.
At Manchester United.
No, listen. Listen to me, my guy. Listen. The same way, please go find a coach that United can find and who maybe can take the step up. There must be someone.
It's got to be a big character.
Nagelsmann will be out of a job at the end of the Euros. Tuchel is out of a job. Just find a coach. There has to be a coach. There has to be one. There has to be Sammy. There has to be. There has to be a coach somewhere. There has to be. It's impossible for us to believe there has to be a coach, and they will find that coach.
I'm sure they will.
Let them go find Xabi Alonso. There has to be a coach somewhere. I believe there has to be a coach. This argument there is no one available is what people use to justify people staying where they shouldn't be.
Okay, what a big what if? What if we get the Champions League this season?
If he gets the Champions League this season, he survives. That's the only thing that will help him survive.
Okay.
If he gets the Champions League. I don't